It's where the money is going to be made. Driven Mofos, welcome back to another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. People always ask me, how do you make more money? I want to make more money. Now, you can probably make more money in this important area, and that is in your relationships. Relationships are such an important factor when it comes to business and life. And I was talking to someone today and they were a great relationship builder, and they said, I just don't know how to make more money. And I said, well, it's in the relationships around you. Like, first of all, you've got to figure out your own values and your own success map. Second of all, after you've figured out your own success map in life, then go and figure out what product and service you can offer to the market based on your values, based on your success map. Now, relationships have probably been my biggest leverage to making money. I believe that if you look after good people and they see your value, they will give that value in return. And it's really a good filtration mechanism. There are a lot of people that I've met over the years who have given me a lot of great referrals. There are a lot of people in my community who give me a lot of referrals. Those people I always look after. They ring me up or they send me a message and they're like, oh man, I'm struggling. And I'm like, let's hop on a call. Let's go out for lunch. Because I know that my job is to help them because they're helping me. And there's this symbiotic relationship that happens. Now, if you have a look in nature, there is always this symbiotic relationship that's going on. If you have a look at sharks, they have those little fish that swim underneath them that clean off all the other crap. They're there because there's a symbiotic relationship. They look after each other. Now, that's how life should be, where we have symbiotic relationships with people around us. I honestly don't believe that when you get married, the relationship is we're married, therefore my partner should give me what I want. I think that is such a shitty way of having a relationship. I also know that that's why about 50% of all marriages end in divorce and about 70% of relationships are absolute shit anyway. So you might have 20 to 30% that are actually good quality relationships. The difference is that those people who have good quality relationships know that it is a symbiotic relationship. Jess is in this relationship with me because I add value to her life, and her life is more valuable because I'm in it. Now, my life is more valuable because I have somebody like Jess in my life. Now, therefore, if we bring that together, we actually have a better life together. In your community, if you're building a community of people, like if you're a business owner or even you're a friend, if you've got people around you and you build good, high quality symbiotic relationships where everybody wins, then the relationship is better than the individuals as singles. So what I mean is that as a whole together, or a collective of a group of friends, or as businesses, like my business is better because of my community. And I know that if I look after my community look after me because we're all better because of that community. Now, if there's someone coming into that community and they're there to just take, or they take from me and they start complaining and bitching and moaning, I pull away pretty quick because it's not worth it. The relationships in that community are worth more. And so what I tend to look at is the collective whole. I had someone a little while ago who, unfortunately, I didn't filter him properly. And he came into a program, did the program, got amazing results, absolutely amazing, raving fan. And probably about 6 months into the program, I noticed that he started to become distant and he wasn't rocking up to events. So my team reached out and said, what's going on? Oh, I'm busy. I just got too much shit to do. 7 months in, still happening. So my team reached out. Oh, yeah, I know I need to do something, but I'm 8 months in. Oh, well, no one cares about me. No one's looking after me. You guys don't give a shit. Now, it goes from raving fan to no one cares about me. And all that happened was he just stopped rocking up, stopped putting in the energy, stopped putting in the effort, and he got all these great results. But because he wasn't showing up and he stopped doing the work and he focused on other things, he was trying to grow his business. But the problem is that he's always been able to work hard. He's just a lazy thinker. And then because he's a lazy thinker and he's not putting in the effort and he really needs our community to be able to help him and to keep him growing. And also he's getting work from people in the community. He starts melting down and then he goes into old destructive behaviors and starts destroying relationships. And so I noticed straight away, my team said he started criticizing the company. Then the next time they spoke to him, he started criticizing me. And I said, well, you know what? I'm happy to help him, but I won't help him if he's going to devalue me, especially when all the value that he's got. Now, you have to think that if someone pays for a course or a program, and let's say they pay $10,000, and in 6 months, they've got $120,000 back from the investment, the initial investment. And then after 6 months, in 7 or 8 months, they go through some problems again and then complain that they haven't got anything. they're still walking away with $120,000 more than what they started with. And so in my head, I go, hang on, there's something wrong here. Like, what happens? Does this person melt down and then just self-destruct? Does this person consistently destroy relationships? Is that his natural strategy in life? Is that when he doesn't get his own way, he just goes crazy? But those types of people you find are so destructive to communities, to groups of people. And so I'm always looking out for people in my community who will destroy themselves, but take people down around them as well. You've got to be careful with those types of people. If you're a business owner, you might have one of those bad customers. One of those bad customers can destroy a whole customer base because people stop dealing with you because of that one person. Now, sometimes if you've got a good relationship with people, they'll stick by you anyway. So I found out from a couple of other community members, they came to me and they said, this person is talking behind my back about stuff that's going on because he feels like he's being hard done by. And they said, we don't get it. He's achieved so much and he's done so much. But obviously he must just go through a stage where when things don't work, instead of self-reflecting again and realizing that it's him and that he needs to change again and reach out for help, he's just self-destructing and blaming everybody. So the cool thing is because I got a strong community, they come to me anyway and talk to me, which I highly value. But what my point is that relationships are where the money's at. So you have to protect those around you so well. My community is protected. I've kicked people out of my community because they are a rotten apple in a barrel, and it does not work. But I also welcome a lot of people into the community as well who are great people who want to help others. Their intention is to do better in themselves and then help others do better as well. And so that creates an amazing environment for people to flourish. But you also want to make sure that you really look after people who add value to you as well. You know, I've built so many great relationships of clients. Like I spend more time hanging out with clients than I do friends and family. Because those clients, not only did they invest in me, but I gave them so much back that now we became friends because they work hard and I get to see the hard work that they put in and the outcomes that they get. They're thriving, I'm thriving. They tell people about what we do. And so there's this beautiful symbiotic relationship. I tell people about their businesses as well. So you've got to be onto that. If you're not, sometimes it can cause problems. Like there was a business that I worked with for many, many years, and they were a great business, but I gave them millions of dollars in referrals and they never once referred anyone to me. I pressed them for years and I'm like, hang on, you work with people who I know need my help. Why aren't you referring them? And they always had an excuse. The truth was they just didn't give a shit. They were more worried about their own business growing than, helping others around them. So we'll have to be careful, right? There's two things that I want to talk about in this podcast. Number one is if you're a business owner, or even if you're not a business owner, you have to be careful of the one rotten apple that will rot everything else. If you have that one friend that's an asshole and you put them amongst other friends, they might destroy all your friends and all the relationships. And I've had it happen in the past where, I've introduced people into high value networks, very high value. And that one person started taking advantage of people and I found out about it and I had to ring them up and say, look, everybody else is saying you're not welcome and I don't really want to spend time with you if that's what you're doing. And so they shot themselves in the foot by going into a high net worth community just to get something out of that community. And they didn't even realize they were doing it. So make sure you protect good people around you all the time. Also make sure there's this law of reciprocity. Like if people give to you, make sure you give back. I know that if someone promotes my business, I want to help them more. If I know that there are people in my community who I help them make more money or, I help them get their life back on track. And so then they refer people. I remember that stuff, right? I'm like a fucking elephant. Apparently elephants remember everything. I'm like an elephant. I always remember that. And if that person ever needs my help, I'm always there for them. In fact, I actually had someone this week that I haven't seen for about 3 years or maybe 4 years in our events. I just noticed she was watching my social media. So I jumped on and I shot her a message and I said, hey, how's everything going? She said, oh, everything's horrible. Like life's turned to shit. And I said, okay, what's going on? And she said, well, you wouldn't believe it. I've been through all these issues. Business is going really, really bad. And I said to her, let's just jump on a call. Let's have a chat. And she said, oh, I can't afford it at the moment. Like I'm not doing well. And I said, hey, you're part of the community. I'll look after you. You've been in here for a long, long time. You've spoken highly about me for many, many years. The least I can do is hop on a call and we can have a chat. And so I spoke to her for like an hour on the phone, helped her back out, did some coaching with her. And then I got a message from her and she's like, hey, I feel great again. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I needed. But she's been struggling for a year and I didn't even know. So I guess what my point is like, if you look after relationships and those relationships have a reciprocity or this reciprocal nature where they want to give back to you and you give to them and they give back to you. And it may not be that you're giving physical things. You don't have to give physical things. Sometimes you don't even have to give time. You just have to give a referral. You just have to give a nice message. Sometimes I shoot my high net worth friends who I haven't seen for ages. I just go, hey, haven't seen you in ages, but you popped up into my mind. How's everything going? And they appreciate that because most people don't look after them. Most people don't care about them. So what my point is you want to look after the relationships around you. You want to make sure that there is this law of reciprocity going on and that no relationships last forever. Relationships only last for as long as they are valuable. So if you want your marriage to last, make sure that you're adding value and that your partner's adding value to you and you communicate effectively. Make sure you do the same thing with your best referrals, your best customers. Take them out for lunch. I went and had lunch today with 2 amazing customers who consistently tell people about my events. They've done Business Odyssey. They're fantastic. Their business has grown shitloads since they started. And so they tell everybody about what we do. And so because of that, I want to help them as well. So I said, look, why don't you guys sponsor our events, but I don't want any money from it. Just keep referring people and I'll put you down as a sponsor. And they love that. But so we'll do a joint venture with them anyway. So make sure you're looking after people around you because relationships are where the money is at. But also you've got to make sure you keep shit people out of your environment as well. So sometimes I'm pretty harsh with people. There are people that I'll speak to on the phone who want to come into the community and they fuck around and they waste time and they act like idiots. And I get rid of them. I do things to piss them off so that they leave. Now, there are plenty of people in business who say, well, that's not the way that you run a business. But they have a business, they don't have a community. I have a community, which is why I have a great business because I love working. I love doing this stuff. You know, I'm recording this podcast here the night before. I know this will go out tomorrow, but it's 10:30 at night. And the reason why I'm doing it right now is because I want to make sure that it's available for tomorrow, not for me, for the community, because I know you guys listen to this. And there are some days that I miss or the team miss or whatever, just because of either software issues or I might be traveling or something like that. And I feel really bad because I know that people listen to this every day. And this is my gift to the community. This is my gift to the world. I want to make sure that you guys and girls out there who listen to this, who have rated and reviewed this podcast, who tell friends about it, who post about it on social media, I want to make sure that you're kicking ass. You're part of my team, the community, the driven mofos. That's why we're here. So I hope that all of you are thinking about great relationships around you and building great relationships and also establishing boundaries, but also making sure that you're adding value and getting value back in a fair way. Now, sometimes people take a little bit more, sometimes people give a little bit more, but hopefully that sort of comes around. If it doesn't, maybe you need to communicate it. Maybe people don't know that it's out of balance. And sometimes people don't communicate expectations back in a way. I say to people, you know, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you. If you keep referring people to me, I'll hang out with you, I'll have lunch, I'll go work on some of your business plans or your personal goals or something like that. And I just put a little bit of energy into the bank. And when they need it, it's always there. So please look after your relationships. Your relationship is where your wealth is. Your relationship with yourself is number 1, but then relationships with others is number 2. It's just something to think about. Driven Mofos, have a great day. Keep kicking ass, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. Remember to rate and review this podcast. It's been awesome seeing all the numbers going up. My team are mind blown by you guys and girls rating and reviewing this podcast on whatever platform you're listening to it on. We really do appreciate you all. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next episode. Most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them.